guys? Welcome to the Batmandrew Podcast, the podcast that's about life, fandom, and all the other random shit in between. And as always, we start out with a life update in which I literally have nothing. My life has been pretty boring over the last couple of weeks, and that's okay. I'm good with boring in small doses, right? So give me a chance to kind of relax, rest up a little bit, spend some time with family, which is always good. But as of recording this video on Sunday, August 31st at about 4 p.m., we gear up for what truly is the start of college football. Notre Dame playing at Miami tonight at 6:30 p.m. Now, I'll air this podcast on Monday, so hopefully this isn't one of those instances where this video did not age well. But I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. Looking forward to them trying to go back to the national championship again, and fingers crossed, hopefully winning. But got to win game one, right? And got to beat Miami at home. So aside from that, just life as normal. Documentary seems to be going good. Dropping the third episode tomorrow on the YouTube channel, so make sure to check that out. Trucking along on my Magic the Gathering journey, even roping the wife into the journey, and she's learning how to play Magic the Gathering as well, which is really cool. So yeah, I think things are good, better than they have been, and I'm grateful for that. I will tell you, I guess there is one life update. I went to the doctor. If you've seen any of my past videos, you know that I found out I was diabetic a few months ago, and have really been trying to improve my health. And since May, June, July, so 3.5 months, I've lost 36 pounds. My A1C levels have almost cut in half, and I feel pretty good. Aside from the neuropathy, which I did start taking a little bit of medication for that so I could sleep better. Yeah, things are pretty good. So fingers crossed, keep up the momentum and keep going. So that leads us into our next topic, which is the world of fandom. So I only really have one huge piece of news that came out that I really am excited to talk about, and it surrounds Alan Ritchson, which, if you don't know who that is, he is the actor who plays Reacher on the Amazon series Reacher, and he's been in a lot of other things. He's been in some comic book stuff as well as superhero stuff. Like, he was Aquaman in Smallville. I think he also played like Hawk and Dove. He's also been in several other TV shows and movies, but Reacher, I think, was truly his big hit. And it's the one that I really took notice of Alan Ritchson. Not only just a good actor, physically intimidating, a huge presence, but he also just seems like a super likable dude. And honestly, like not only a guy's guy, but a guy who can be a gentleman, who can be kind, who can be caring. Also, I mean, clearly just, again, physically imposing. I mean, he is a big man, right? And because of his physical physique, a lot of people had been wanting to see him play Batman, myself included. I think he would make a great Batman for the DCU, but we haven't found out who Batman was going to be. We haven't heard any casting news. And although he is a huge fan favorite in order to be able to play Batman, no confirmation has come out. Well, Alan Ritchson was recently interviewed, into which he said this: "Well, it's not rumor that James Gunn is a fan. He said it himself. And am I a fan of James Gunn? Absolutely. I don't want to mislead people. Words have been exchanged about Batman, but I strongly don't think Batman is in my future. I do think there is something in my future with DC, and I would like that to remain true." So, a couple of nuggets to kind of take away from here. First things first, a little disappointing. To be honest, I would love to see him play Batman. I think in this DCU, the Bruce Wayne side of Batman is probably going to be less of a focal point, and Batman himself is going to be the main key. And I think Alan could absolutely have the physicality to be able to play Batman. I think the Bruce Wayne side of it, even though he's a good actor, you might have to be able to put him in good positions in order to be successful there. But James Gunn has proven that he can do that, right? James Gunn has certainly showed that he has more than capable of taking an actor who is up and coming, or maybe not be as strong in certain areas, and play to their strengths. Because you look at what he did with Batista for the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, John Cena now with Peacemaker. And not that Alan is, a ex-wrestler turned actor, right? Like, he is a true, genuine actor, and those others have grown into be. I just think that clearly, like, there are some things that maybe outside of his limitations as far as acting goes. And I think James Gunn would be able to really help with that and put him in a position, again, to be successful. But if he's not going to play Batman, fine. Like, that's what I want. I want to see him as Batman, but we don't always get what I want, right? So it got me thinking, okay, he does say, however, in this interview that I do think there is something in my future with DC. So, of course, we're fans. We're going to speculate, right? So what is it? What is in his future for DC? And it could be a variety of things, right? Like, if they go more traditional Aquaman, he could reprise his role as Aquaman in this new iteration of the DC universe. I think he would probably fit that mold pretty well. I think there are a lot of characters that he could fit in, and that he could be a great addition to the DC universe. But because I saw him already as Batman, and that was what I was hoping for, I want to present to you 5 options that Alan Ritchson could play in the DCU while still being a part of the Batverse. So here are my top 5 from 5th to 1st. So number 5. I think that because of his physicality and because of his broodiness and his personality, I think that if you went the route in this DCU where it was more supernatural and you had Solomon Grundy in your DCU, I think Alan Ritchson would crush a Solomon Grundy role. Now, most likely, if they ever introduce Solomon Grundy, they'll probably do it CGI, and I get that. But I think if you wanted to go practical, wanted to be a little bit more grounded, clearly you're going to need someone with the physical presence of an Alan Ritchson. I think the problem you'd run into would be, what does your Batman look like, right? Because Solomon Grundy is clearly larger than Batman, and so you would have to kind of play around with that if your Batman is of equal size to what you want in an Alan Ritchson. But with that being said, just solely looking at the part of Solomon Grundy, I think it would be a lot of fun to see him come in and play Solomon Grundy in the DCU. So that's my number 5th pick. Moving on, number 4. And this is where you get a little bit more into his combat readiness from Reacher. I think seeing Alan Ritchson coming in as Deathstroke would be a phenomenal role for him to play. There was a lot of rumors back in the day when Ben Affleck was still playing Batman that he was working on his own Batman script that had Deathstroke in there, and Joe Manganiello, however you pronounce his name, sorry, terrible with names, but I think he was the one that was rumored and casted as Deathstroke. We never got to see that come true, right? But I think Alan would not only bring the physicality that you would want with it, but you see what he does in Reacher. Like, that is very much in the vein of a Deathstroke. So, although I think that, you could get a dozen other actors to come in and play Deathstroke in the DCU, I do think Alan Ritchson could come in, be ready, physically ready, his acting, his acting ability, would definitely cater to a Deathstroke type character, and I think it would be fun. I think it would be fun to see him come in. However, those are 2 characters that I think are kind of one and done. And although I think Alan Ritchson could really play those 2 characters, I think when you're looking at the fact that you're talking about one and done, I would like to see him around more, right? So I give you my top 3. So my top 3 characters that I would love to see Alan Ritchson play in the DCU while staying in the Batverse. At number 3, Azrael. Now, if you don't know the story, when in the comics, when Bane broke Batman's back and Batman was out of commission, he recruited Azrael to come in and play Batman, play the role of Batman, and to help protect Gotham. And it got pretty shady. Like, Azrael clearly has a different philosophy about how to handle justice, and Batman ultimately had to come back and kind of regain his cowl over Azrael. But I think that in this world, if we're introducing a Batman who has already been Batman prior, that he is already established in this universe, that you could go down a route to where you could introduce your Batman and have Alan Ritchson as an Azrael. But I don't think you could do it in the first movie, right? Like, your first Batman movie needs to be about Batman. But I do think, like, later on in the future of the DCU, Azrael's a character that I think Alan Ritchson would absolutely crush. So that's my number 3. At number 2, I think this one is a clear obvious. It's Bane. And I know Dave Bautista wanted to play Bane originally for James Gunn, but I don't know. I think Alan Ritchson would not only be able to have the physical physique of a Bane and be able to be physically intimidating, but I think that his acting ability would be able to give you the other side that you want with a Bane character, right? The side that we didn't get with, like, the Joel Schumacher Batman movies. Like, we need a Bane who is physically intimidating, who's overpowering, but who's smart. Like, Bane is not just some dumb idiot that just happens to have a lot of muscles. Like, he's a scientist, he's smart, he's intelligent. And I think that you get an actor with Alan Ritchson that could not only play the physical side of it, but could also act his way around being able to give off the vibes of a smart, intelligent, well-spoken Bane. And then plus, I would love to see Alan Ritchson, whoever they cast as Batman, lifting him up over his head, doing the backbreaker. Like, if that is not a story plot with this DCU, whichever way they go with Alan Ritchson, if they have them in it, if that's not a story plot for the DCU, it's a huge missed opportunity. Because although I love the Dark Knight movies, and Dark Knight Rises obviously wasn't as good as the Dark Knight, I still loved being able to see components of that storyline being put into place. But I just really want to see that comic cover come to life where Bane breaks the bat, and I'd love to see Alan Ritchson in that role. But that's not my top pick. My number 1 pick for who I would love to see Alan Ritchson play, and I understand that age is a factor here, but it looks like we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of an older Batman and more established Batman. I want to see Alan Ritchson play Jason Todd. I think that you bring in Alan Ritchson as Jason Todd, and you have, like, this needs to be post the death of Robin, right? Like Jason Todd, all that needs to already have happened, which I think it will, because from what I understand, the DCU is starting with their Batman and having Damian Wayne as the Robin, so you would assume all that history has already been there. But I would love to see him come in as Jason Todd. I would love to see him be introduced as the Red Hood or as the Arkham Knight, and have kind of a little bit of a reiteration of what you got with the Arkham video game series. Alan Ritchson, when I think Jason Todd, I can't help but to think Alan Ritchson. And Jason Todd, I love the idea of a Robin feeling like Batman failed them. Not only failed them, but failed the city, failed Gotham because of his philosophy and how he wants to handle things. And again, if you haven't seen Reacher, my God, that is Jason Todd. And so I very much, I think out of all the roles he could play, give me an Alan Ritchson Jason Todd. That's what I want to see. So what about you guys? What do you think he should play? If he's going to be in the DCU, where do you think that role should place him? And what characters do you think would be ideal for him? So Listen, always remember that life is too short to let people hate on the things you love. Enjoy your fandom and fuck the haters, right? So, moving on. All the other random shit. I only really have one topic for you here in all the random shit of the portion of our podcast, but I think it's pretty good here. All right, so if you haven't heard the news, on September 9th, or if you're a rewards member, between the 2nd and the 8th, you could get it early. Taco Bell is releasing their Decades Y2K menu. Why is this significant? Because I think that it is nostalgic and it's a callback to when Taco Bell was actually good. That's a lie. Taco Bell has never been good, but it's a callback to when we actually enjoyed Taco Bell as millennials. And although it's never been good, it's never been healthy, some of these are staples that we grew up with. And I think it would be interesting not only to give you the 5 menu items that they have listed, but to rank them in, I guess, importance to me, because I'm the only one recording this podcast. I'm not talking to anybody else, so you'll just have to tell me in the comments where you would rank them. But the top 5 items that are coming out, or the 5 items that are coming out in my top 5 order. Number 5 is the caramel apple empanada. This thing was disgusting. Like, I remember it. It is, in essence, a underbaked apple pie from McDonald's. It is not good. I don't know who enjoyed this thing. And I don't know. It just... whatever, fine, bring it back. When you think of desserts, you don't think of Taco Bell, that's fine. Put it on the menu, empanada, if you're a fan of it. All these menu items are under $3. Go enjoy it. Number 4, the Cool Ranch Dorito Taco. So, clearly, the Nacho Dorito Taco is still on Taco Bell's menu today. The Cool Ranch Taco was alright. Like, it wasn't terrible. It was alright. Clearly the nacho cheese is what won out, what people wanted to stick with. But if you said, Andrew, here's a taco, and the shell is a Cool Ranch Dorito, sure, I'll eat it. Like, I'm not mad at it. It's fine. But now we're moving into the top 3. These are the 3 that I think are not only the best items, but, like, shouldn't have never left the menu. Number 3, the 7-layer burrito. Aside from the sour cream... can't do sour cream, it's disgusting. But aside from the sour cream, this thing ushered in the dawn of the current menu at Taco Bell. If you look at all the items that they have on the menu right now, they were all spawns and, bastard children of the 7-layer burrito. I'm all for this. Take off the sour cream, give me the 7-layer burrito. Let's go. Number 2, the double-decker taco. Taco Bell still makes their name on the fact that they'll just load up your taco shells and your tortillas and create 9 different layers of tortillas before you get to the meat of your Taco Bell food. Like the double decker taco was the OG. It's where it all started. I'm all for it. I think that you just go simple. Don't give me like double decker nacho cheese, Cool Ranch Dorito bullshit. Just simple double decker taco. Good shit right there. But the number one thing I'm most excited about coming back, that I wish hadn't left, and I know it's been back hit and miss, obviously over the last 20 years, but it's the chili cheese burrito. When you think of Taco Bell, I know there's a lot of people that are fans of Taco Bell, and I'm not trying to hate on your love of Taco Bell. But Taco Bell is one of the worst places, I think, for me to eat. Not only because I don't like a lot of the menu items, but literally everything gives me fucking heartburn from Taco Bell. But with that being said, the chili cheese burrito was fantastic. My question is, Taco Bell, the fuck? You're going to bring back the chili cheese burrito. That's fine. Give me a Frito option. I need to be able to have a Frito chili cheese burrito again. Sonic has one. It's not the same. I think Taco Bueno right now I actually have one more random thing to tell you about. We'll talk about that here in a second. But the Taco Bueno, I think they have like a Frito option for their food. I want that Frito chili cheese burrito that you used to have back in the day, that shit was amazing. That was the number one item. I need that back. So hell, I will order a chili cheese burrito, and I will open it up and put my own Fritos in there if I have to. But the chili cheese burrito, by far the best item menu that you've had. All right, so I just thought about this. So I thought I would share this story. Random shit, right? Taco Bueno. I really like Taco Bueno. It's not my favorite of the taco fast food places, but I really like Taco Bueno. And I like Taco Bueno specifically because you can go in there, you can get the party burritos, you get the party tacos. They're cheap, they're good. And honestly, like with my medication, I don't eat a whole lot anymore, so I can just get a couple of those and I can have my fill, and I like it, and it's a guilty pleasure. Fine. So the other night, we live way out in the freaking, middle of nowhere. So we don't get to be able to have things delivered to us. So if we want something, we've got to drive like 30 minutes into the city to go get it. So I decided I was going to go pick up dinner. I wanted Taco Bueno, Scarlett wanted Taco Bell, and Grayson wanted McDonald's. All right, so it was a fast food night. Drove into town, went to Taco Bueno, walked in. There was no one at the register. The music that was playing in the back had every other cuss word you could have in the book, talking about, pussies and women's, hoes and stuff like that. I mean, it was just, it was terrible music to be playing in a restaurant where customers can hear it, right? I don't care if you're into hip hop, rap, rock, whatever, like whatever you want your music taste to be, that's fine. But when you're talking about in a restaurant where customers can hear it, all right. So I see the manager walk up. He's putting money in the safe, and he says, "Hey, we'll be right with you." I'm like, "All right, that's fine." So I'm sitting there. I'm just waiting. What feels like forever, but it was literally only about 2 minutes. But I'm waiting there, and I see two employees come in from the back door. You can see straight to the back door in this Taco Bueno. So I'm standing there. I see these two employees come to the back door. You can see the smoke come in from the back door from where they were at. And outside, you could smell the weed smell from fucking down the block. But whatever, okay? It's fast food. Just make my shit, wear gloves. I don't need anything else. I'm good. I don't typically eat at fast food places that I don't order from the app prior to going. But I just went straight to Taco Bueno because this Taco Bueno is the closest one near me, and it has a habit of closing early. And I didn't want to risk placing an order and not be able to pick it up and already have paid for it because they closed down early. So I go in, I walk into the restaurant, I'm waiting there. Kid comes up to the register and just stares at me. Doesn't say a word, just looks at me. And I said, "Are we good? Are we ready?" And I kid you not, looks me dead in the face, says, "The fuck do you think?" I about laughed in this kid's face. But I said, "Okay." And I said, "I want to order 2 party burritos, a party taco, and a chicken quesadilla." And he walks away. What I assumed was to go look at if they had chicken for a chicken quesadilla. Just, I've worked in restaurants before. That's what I'm assuming he went to go do based off what I saw. And he walks back and he says, "What else?" And I said, "You know what, man?" I said, "I think I'm good." And he was like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And so he just walks away. And when he walks away, starts to continue to run his mouth. So I'm a very confrontational person. That's a fault of mine. I get it. I didn't know if this kid was of age. So I just said, "Man," I said, "Can I speak to your manager?" And I'm not afraid to be that guy to be like, "Listen, manager, your people have a problem." Because I would rather personally, as a person who works in the restaurant field and has been a retail manager and everything before, I would rather a customer come talk to me than call in and make a complaint and get customer service involved. So I was like, let me just talk to this manager. The manager was garbage. Like, it was clear why his staff was acting the way they were, because this manager was just as fucking bad. And so I just kind of laughed, and I said, "You know what? I think I'm good." And he literally, as I'm walking out, was like, "Well, I mean, we can talk to our general manager if you want." And I was like, "You know what, man? No, I'm good. Just have a good night." and I left. And I went to McDonald's to pick up Scarlett's food. Taco Bell to pick up Scarlett's food. Went to McDonald's to pick up Grayson's food. And I said, you know what? Like, it rubbed me the wrong way to be spoken to like that. And so I went to go look for a customer service number, and Taco Bueno doesn't have one. They want you to email them. So I emailed them. And would you like to take a guess? Give you a yes or no here. This is about 10 days removed. Has Taco Bueno reached out to me? Fuck no. No, they haven't reached out to me. And that's fine. Like, I'm tired of retail businesses. I'm tired of food businesses. I'm tired of people taking my fucking money and not giving two shits about the service that they give. So, do I like eating Taco Bueno? I do. Do I like your party burritos? Yes. Do I like your tacos? Yes. Am I abandoning your business altogether? Yes, I am. I'm just done. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm done with shitty companies. I'm done with shitty companies that continue to just take our money and provide such a shitty service. So, it started with AMC Theaters. Fuck you. I'm done. Taco Bueno. Fuck you. I'm done. And do you care about my money? No. Me individually, you don't care about my money. You don't care. Like, I'm one customer. But I swear, if I can convert 1 to 1,000 people, however many, I don't freaking care. I will be the Joel Osteen of fucking evangelists to be able to shit on your restaurant and on AMC because of the crappy service that you continue to give, right? Like, I will, if Joel Osteen can go out there and lead millions to be able to empty their pocketbooks so that fucking asshole can go ahead and live in a rich mansion, I can try to get people to not shop at your restaurant or your movie theater, because I am just done with your terrible service. And all I wanted to do was to make someone aware, right? I wasn't going to call. I don't want free shit from you. I don't want anything from you because I'm not going back to your restaurant. But being a district manager myself, I would love for someone to tell me when something's going on, and I wanted to do that. You didn't contact me. You didn't reach out. So I'm done with your restaurant. Going to Taco Bell, and I'm going to order from their Decades Y2K menu, and I will, just never eat at your restaurant again. And does that bother you? No, that's fine. But I'm just done with shitty restaurants, done with shitty customer service. So do better. Just that's all it takes. Just do better. All right, guys, just remember to love all the awkward moments in between life and death. And thank you guys for being here. I am your host, Andrew Mills, the Batmandrew, and I am truly, honestly appreciative that you watch my podcast, that you listen to my podcast on Spotify, that you watch my content on social media like TikTok. I really am. Like, I'm truly grateful for the people who support me and who engage with my content. And it's from the bottom of my heart. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. I really, genuinely appreciate you. Thank you guys again. Remember to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys again the next time on the same Batmandrew time at the same Batmandrew channel. Thanks, guys.